I want to talk today about the Mississippi court system and where cases are heard, different types of cases, because in Mississippi they have different levels of courts for depending on the type of case. I am licensed in Mississippi as a criminal defense attorney. I practice a lot in the northern counties of Mississippi and in towns like South Haven, Horn Lake, Holly Springs, even on down to Oxford. Okay, so in Mississippi, they have several levels of courts. The kind of lower level courts are the county justice courts, or the municipal court. If you get a criminal charge, you're probably going to be told that your case is in one of those, the county justice court or the municipal court, or sometimes called the city court. See, each county in Mississippi has its what they call their justice court. That's for the county. That's for crimes that are alleged to have happened outside of an incorporated city, like out in the rural or unincorporated parts of the county. Usually sheriff deputies handle these cases, and so those are in the county courts. It's purely a jurisdictional matter because cities have their own systems and their own courts, and then out in the counties they have their own system as well. So your case, depending on where it's alleged to have happened, could be in the county court. But if it's inside a city, if it's in the city limits somewhere, like in South Haven or Hernando, Olive Branch, they have their own municipal courts. So like down in DeSoto County, where I practice a lot, these places that I've mentioned, they've all got their own courts. South Haven Municipal Court, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, Hernando, those are all their own separate cities with their own municipal courts. But then for all of DeSoto County, you have the County Justice Court, which is in South Haven, right down the street from the municipal court actually. So it can be kind of confusing. There's a lot of different courts. You need to know where you have to go for court. They don't make it easy with all these different courts. It's kind of a lot of bureaucracy, but that's the way they have it. So if you're not sure, ask me and we can figure that out. So those are all the kind of the entry level courts. Misdemeanor cases are heard in these courts. In the municipal or the county justice court, you hear misdemeanor cases like DUI, simple drug possession, shoplifting, or petty theft. Any misdemeanor type cases are going to be heard in these courts, and this is where your case is either going to settle. Most cases settle some kind of plea agreement or probation or diversion program, or you can have a trial. You can have a trial in the municipal court. It's a bench trial, so that means it's in front of a judge. It's in front of the municipal court judge, not in front of a jury. They don't have power to bring juries to these little courts. So your case, if you have a trial, it'll be in front of the judge there. If you lose that trial, you can appeal it to the county court, which is a whole separate level on top of the ones I've been talking about. And your case basically starts over. It's a do-over. It's a new trial in front of a new judge. All right, so that's typically how misdemeanors are handled in Mississippi. Felonies. Felonies are more serious charges. These carry greater punishment. They're usually impossible to get off your record. You're looking at probably a year or more of prison time if convicted of a felony. Felonies can actually start out, you can have your initial appearance in one of these lower level courts, but almost always they're going to move to the circuit court. The circuit court is the big court. Each county or each judicial district in Mississippi has a circuit court that hears felonies, and these are major cases. This would be like drug trafficking, weapons cases, sex crimes, violent crimes like murder or attempted murder or robbery. Okay, those have to go to the circuit court, and as part of that, your case will be submitted to the grand jury. The district attorney, the county prosecutor, will submit your case to a grand jury, and it's up to the grand jury to issue an indictment, which is basically a notice of the charges. It isn't proof of guilt, it isn't evidence even, it's really just a sheet of paper that notifies you that a grand jury has indicted you, which means they have found probable cause. They have found enough evidence. So it's not just the police or the prosecutor accusing you, it's now a group of citizens, a group of impartial citizens who don't know you and only know the facts of this case, have decided there's at least some evidence there that this needs to be sent to the circuit court. That's an indictment. So all felonies have to be indicted. In order to get to the circuit court, it's got to pass through a grand jury, and they issue an indictment, and then they tell you, okay, you've been indicted, and your case moves to the circuit court. And there, once you're in the circuit court, it's the basically very similar procedure to a misdemeanor in that it's either going to settle or it's going to go to trial. And if it settles, that means very likely a plea, possibly probation, and again, possibly a diversion program if you qualify for that and if you apply for it. And if you have a trial, that is the jury trial. All right, they have jury trials in the circuit court where they bring in a group of citizens who don't know you or don't know anything about your case, and they hear all the evidence, and they decide whether you're guilty or innocent. If you lose your jury trial, of course, you can appeal to a higher court. So that's how felonies are heard. So that is kind of a breakdown of Mississippi courts. It can seem kind of complicated with so many different names and levels. Best thing to do if you're charged with a crime in the state of Mississippi is call me. Tell me about your case. You may have no idea. You may not know what you're charged with, whether it's a felony or a misdemeanor, or which court you're going to be in. I can help you with that. We can figure that out and put together a plan to put a defense together for you. Thanks for watching.